Liverpool 3, Brighton 3, not good enough, and Jurgen Klopp is to blame. I'm going to say it again. Liverpool 3, Brighton 3, not good enough, and Jurgen Klopp is to blame. I'm going to take you through my thoughts after that capitulation once again from Liverpool at home in the Premier League. You guys were probably seeing the game as well. We started it horrendously. We somehow find our way back into it, and yet we still find a way to shit the bed at the end of it and allow Brighton in to find themselves going away from Anfield with a point. And once again, we have more questions than answers. I'm going to take you through my thoughts on the game. Before I do, please do drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comment section how annoyed you are and who you think is to blame for this capitulation once again from this Liverpool team. The mentality monsters are no more. There are too many players right now playing off reputation in this team, and Jurgen Klopp needs to grow a pair because Jordan Henderson is done. Jordan Henderson is finished as a starter for Liverpool Football Club. Virgil van Dijk is a pale imitation of the player that he was before that injury, and he needs to be seriously considering his performances because it's not good enough. And Jurgen Klopp, a manager that speaks about not being able to improve in certain areas of the football pitch and puts the same players that are letting them down week in and week out there and expecting a different result. Well, today I am firstly putting the blame solely on the shoulders of Jurgen Klopp because he didn't take responsibility for his actions yet again, and he didn't have the nuts to drag players off at half time who were not performing. So let's go through it and talk about each player, talk about the game, and talk about how, if any way, we can salvage something from this absolute disgrace of a season so far. We should have beaten Brighton today. We were the better team today, but our defensive ineptitude yet again allowed us to concede not one, not two, but 3 goals at home, a Trossard hat-trick. It's a joke. It is a joke right now. You cannot concede 3 goals at home and expect to win a game of football in the Premier League. It's just nonsense. You want to do one thing. Be tight from the start. Don't do what we've done. I think BBC had a stat, my friends, that said Liverpool have gone in leading at half-time once in the last 16 games. Once! That is a joke. And look, people will use scapegoats. People will have their own players. People will talk about Trent. People will talk about Van Dijk. But today, for the first time maybe ever, during his tenure as Liverpool manager, I want to lay my blame squarely on Jurgen Klopp's shoulders. Jordan Henderson. How is he starting a game when he clearly isn't fit? He's been away on international duty with England. He played 5 or 6 minutes, I think, for England in the second game against Germany, and that's it. That's the only fitness he's had. But yet Jurgen Klopp, in his infinite wisdom, puts Jordan Henderson in midfield. And who causes the first goal? Guess what? Jordan Henderson. How does he do it? Well, he watches the ball drop out of the sky, doesn't clear it, lets it bounce, then makes a mess of it, and Brighton score. But the fun doesn't stop there, my friends, because Brighton just played their way through at will. Simple 1-2s were opening up our defence and forcing Alisson Becker to make saves. We didn't get away with it. Brighton scored a second goal, and we have a mountain to climb. But here comes the kicker. We climbed that mountain. Liverpool found their way back into the game, but we still found a way to let it go right at the end when we were getting too comfortable. Virgil van Dijk, what was he doing? The ball was crossed into the box. Lift your leg 6 inches, mate. Lift your leg and clear the ball. Block the ball, chest the ball, do anything. Put any part of your goddamn body in front and block that ball. And stop standing there like a poser who's afraid to get dirty and actually play with some fucking passion, because that isn't good enough. And Van Dijk is as culpable as the leader of that defence as anybody else back there. Alisson had a bit of a mixed bag for me. I felt he could have done better, particularly with the third goal. I've some questions about the second goal, but ultimately, once it gets to that point, it's after bypassing our attack, our midfield, and our defence over and over and over again. What is it that Mohamed Salah is bringing to our team from a goal-scoring threat anymore? I don't know. Other than winning us corners when he runs at defenders and lets the ball bounce off his legs, I don't know what else he's doing. His work rate is there. I'm not going to knock his work rate. He is putting in the yards. He is running the channels. He is helping us defensively. But his output in the final end of the pitch just is not there anymore. And then the final nail in the coffin today for Klopp for me was that he waits. We concede a goal in the 85th minute. So rather than getting Darwin stripped and on the pitch immediately, he waits until the 89th, nearly 90th minute to bring Darwin off. and gives them injury time to do what? What message is that sending? What message did it send to Fabio Carvalho, a player who had a decent first half, that he was whipped off? But yet Jordan Henderson stayed on the goddamn pitch at half time. Carvalho whipped off, Henderson kept on. No problems with Diaz coming on. Diaz is an absolute lifesaver, love the man. But what example does that set to Carvalho? That you had a decent first half, our captain was horrendous, but I'm pulling you off, and Jordan Henderson staying on there. And then, just when we get a little bit more confused, the manager decides to say, do you know what? Let's go and take off our left back and bring on James Milner. I'm going to say that again. Let's take off our attacking left back and bring on James Milner. Now, fast forward to the end of the game. Right at the very end of the game, we get a throw in line with their 18-yard box, which Milner stands to take. We have players inside the penalty area. We have two lads on the edge of the box. And what does James Milner do? Throws the ball back to the halfway line. That was the end of that attack. Referee then blows the whistle a couple of moments later and the game is over. There is just some stupid decisions that are being made right now that I just can't fathom. Jurgen Klopp had 2 weeks. 2 weeks to prepare for this game. 2 weeks to set up. 2 weeks to get the lads motivated. And he goes out there and plays Hendo, who wasn't around for the 2 weeks. I can't fathom it. I don't understand what is going through his head. I don't understand how he's showing this loyalty to these players who've let him down consistently since the season has begun. And players like Darwin, players like Carvalho, the future of the football club, are sitting there getting splinters on their arse or are getting dragged off at half time to allow for more dross from Jordan Henderson. It's just absolute nonsense. Can we fix this? I don't know. I'm sure we can't get any worse. I hope we can't get any worse. But you know what? We're in October. We built it up all week. We said this is a big month in the season. 6 Premier League games, 9 games in this month, and nothing but a win today will suffice. We didn't get the win. So to be anything other than fuming about that, and we can't accept it. We can't, as fans, sit here and accept that shite and expect the manager to come out with the usual nonsense about him saying positive stuff and all. He is culpable for this because he is picking those players that are letting us down week in and week out, while the future of the club and the other options that we have are just sitting there scratching their heads wondering what on earth they have to do to get started ahead of Klopp's darlings in James Milner and Jordan Henderson, who are absolutely done. That's my say on it. That's all I have to add to this conversation, because I feel if I'm going to keep talking, I'm going to end up in a whole world of trouble, and I've probably said too much today already. But that is unacceptable, and it's Jurgen Klopp's fault today. That's where the blame lies for me. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video, and if you can, please do hit that subscribe button as well. We'll be back tomorrow over on Twitch. Paddy's doing a watch along of the Manchester Derby. I'm going to go bury my head in the sand in the back garden or something. I'll talk to you guys soon. Much love. Bye bye.